Welcome back, ARK players, to a brand new video. Now today we are going to be diving a little bit into the future now Ragnarok and the Lost Colony expansion pass has been released. We're going to be talking about some of the upcoming stuff which has already been confirmed by the devs, all of this will be coming in the near future, and a lot of it will be coming with the Lost Colony DLC, which has now been delayed to December 2025. Now, if you guys do enjoy today's video, as always, smash that like button, subscribe, and if you are looking for a place to play Ragnarok, of course, remember guys, the Loaded cluster, we currently have 2 PvE servers right now. Yes, they do get very busy on weekends with usually 100, and like 90 to 100 that play on both of those, and then around the same on PvP. But we have one more spare server, and we are looking to open it up we're basically just sort of seeing what gets busy. It's such a hard decision. We're edging towards PvP at the moment because there's 2 PvEs, and we feel like it's only fair if we give PvP some love too. So you guys can let me know in the comment section down below if you do play on the cluster what you'd like to see as in time. In the weekdays you will be able to jump in. There tends to be about 75 players on the server, so you'll be able to grab yourself a slot. It's just Saturday and Sunday night, and probably maybe Friday night gets a little bit busy. Anyway, let's get in with the video. So yes, first things first, as I mentioned, Lost Colony has been delayed to December 2025, and it will be bringing the new map, ARK Prime, a war-torn frozen city, and the origin of the ARKs. It connects the stories of Extinction and Genesis, and it will lead into ARK 2. There is a full cinematic storyline starring Michelle Yeoh as Mei Yin, and it is animated by Mappa, which is known for Attack on Titan. Never seen that myself. Now, the Veilwyn creature, as you guys know, it's just been added to Ragnarok as well. It's the Lost Colony expansion pass. When the DLC releases, it will gain 2 new evolution forms. Now, am I right in thinking this is going to be like some sort of crazy giant wolf it turns into? Like, what do you guys think? Because when I look at the Veilwyn, I always just think to myself, you know, it could go either way. Do you know what I mean? It could go into the tiniest little thing, or it could go into the biggest and baddest beast, and I think that's probably what they're going to be looking to do very soon. And each form of these unlocks entirely new and potent abilities. Those abilities we're yet to know, but you guys can let me know what you think they are in the comment section down below. Okay, so there is also going to be a major expansion of the player skill tree system, and at the moment this is called Phase 1. And coming up very soon will potentially be Phase 2, 3, and 4. I don't know how many phases there's actually going to be, but what Studio Wildcard actually let us know is there's going to be additional branches, skills, and milestones beyond the current Beast Mastery, Wayfarer, and Utility trees. So this system, as I said, is just the Phase 1 of the system. Sounds pretty exciting to me. As a little bit of a thought, like with what you guys have got right now, what would you like to see coming up next for this skill tree? Like, what do you think would fare? What do you think would fare well? I guess I could say. I was about to say, what would you think would be fair? And what wouldn't be too OP? Because there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, there's been some complaints and things about the skill tree. And what are your actual thoughts with Phase 1 at this moment in time? I personally really like it. I understand there's been, you know, some talks with PvP players not being too happy. But I think it's gone down fairly well. I mean, Wildcard are coming up with all these different ideas to make the game new. And, of course, I agree with you guys that, you know, I don't want, you know, you never want the complete way of ARK to change. But I think to keep things fresh and exciting in a game, you have to change and you have to expand. You do have to be careful with how you do things, especially when it comes to PvP. But yeah, anyway. Now, as for the actual Ragnarok map as a whole, Ragnarok Ascended future feature / content. While the majority of Ragnarok's content launched day 1, there's some statements that hint at future expansions or additions. So each of the 4 new isles, Scotland Isles, Alpines, Redwood Expansion, Desert Isles, are described as each new zone offers fresh challenges, stunning scenery, and new stories waiting to unfold. This could potentially mean that there might be some more future stuff added to Ragnarok in the future, or it could just be, they're saying each new zone offers fresh challenges, stunning scenery, and new stories waiting to unfold. It could just be our stories within the game. But it would be quite interesting to see, I know that one of the devs at, I don't know if he's planning on working at Studio Wildcard for the foreseeable now that Ragnarok is out, but it would be really interesting to know, is there going to be any future updates to Ragnarok Ascended in the future? Will they be adding any more like Astrius, or is this like kind of just the standard version, by the way, brilliant version that we've got so far? The Tek Bunker, this is obviously already available with, and this, more features and integrations may come in the full expansion, because I think with the Tek Bunker, I think there's so much stuff that can really be done with this, and so many, just different opportunities they can do. The developer Zarthan is now officially working. Officially on its on the official version of the game. So it's not just premium mod anymore. He's actually he's part of. I'm guessing, does that mean he's part of Wildcard, or is he doing it as like a side hustle with Wildcard? That's really interesting, because I'd love to see what features will come in the near future with the Tek Bunker, because I thought it was a great premium mod, and I think it fits in the game perfectly, because when it comes to like space on a map, there, especially the island, by the way, there's a lot of complaints that there's never enough space. Now, I'm not saying someone's main game is going to be in the Tek Bunker, but it's a cool place to go, especially if you wanted to keep a little bit more low key, and I thought it was great. Now, pretty much there is a lot of future stuff going on with the Ragnarok map, in the sense of not just the Ragnarok map, the game as a whole. There's still a few Unreal Engine 5.5 things to sort out. There's still a few bugs, still a few things like that going on for the game, and that's all happening and cooking in the background, as statements made by Studio Wildcard have been that they're working hard, especially on the FPS drop. If any of you guys are experiencing that issue still, that is again the highest priority at Studio Wildcard at the moment, and they're truly trying to work hard to get this out and finished. But again, I saw some very positive comments in yesterday's video. It really did put a smile on my face, because to be honest, I'm gonna speak complete facts here, and and also just thoughts and feelings on the situation. Being an art creator, you have some of the most amazing experiences being an art creator. The launches, the streams, the funny moments, the everything. The cluster has been one of my favorite ever things I ever decided to do. I can't even explain to you how happy I am that I started up this cluster with nearly 6,500 of you guys currently in it after Ragnarok launch. It was one of the best things. I've been able to meet so many of you guys. We're planning so many events. Generally so exciting. But when you're at a stage where Ascended is doing so poorly, and over the years ARK's seen some hate because the devs have made wrong decisions and stuff, it's truly so hard to, I always just express how I feel, and you guys know that's what I do. But obviously a little backlash can come with that, because you get people that disagree. So I'm always in this point, right, where I've got people over a long time, I say something negative, someone comes and watches the video and they're like, all you do, you're just so negative all the time. And then when you actually give some praise, people are like, all you do is give so much praise to Studio Wildcard. And sometimes it's so hard, because you're thinking, where's the balance? But unfortunately, you can't, as a creator, you have to understand that, that balance will never always be there, because some people will watch some of your videos, some people won't. So they'll come back and they won't be as up to date, and they just don't really know what to say. So I am very appreciative to anyone that watches any videos at any point, but you can see from my side it's quite a hard situation, and I don't just people please. I like to say what I generally think, yeah, that's one of my sort of things that gets frustrating sometimes, but that's just the way of the perks of the job, not really the perks. But just a final thing to add before this video does end. The reason I brought up that point was because I have seen the most positivity I have ever seen since anything has dropped in ARK Survival Ascended even after 5.5 dropped, because there was some issues, it wasn't the cleanest of updates. It's getting there, but again, there's still some people that, and then since Ragnarok Ascended's launched, there's some issues, but the majority of people were seriously happy, and that puts such a massive smile on my face to just see that the community was so proud of that, so excited and so proud to see Ragnarok back, but also in a brand new light. Some of the and they didn't take away too much of the OG version of the game. There's been a few things, but pretty much a lot of it's the same, and people love seeing their OG spaces where they used to build, and that made me so happy. Just some positivity ones. When there is a lot of negativity, it can weigh you down from having motivation on creating content, and that's the whole part of a cycle. Like, I get, again, a lot of questions from people saying, Dom, what tips do you have for any new up and coming ARK YouTubers, or any as a YouTuber in general? And one of the things that I have to say to you guys is, of course, consistency is very important, but there's so many different parts to the cycle of doing it. There's very low points, extremely high points, and there's a middle ground, and you go through all different types of emotions. You just got to stay consistent, take the breaks when you need them, and just focus on making content you enjoy. If that's what works, and find your niche. If you want to just make funny content on ARK, and you believe that that's your best content, and being yourself, that is literally the best thing you can do. Of course, you need to do a little bit of research behind, to make sure that you know how you're putting out your channel banner and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I will always answer questions if anyone has them, because I know since Ragnarok's come out, a lot of people have been back on the streaming grind. But catch you guys in my next video. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.